Well. Oh baby, we're back again. Wait, I'm on the wrong tab right now. I've been in I've been spending time in the dark places of the internet right there. A little bit of time on Twitter to kind of acclimate myself to the news cycle this morning just to see what the hell's going on. Haven't done that in a while. Very interesting to see. Very interesting to see indeed. Anyways, plenty to talk about today as Bitcoin does still hold the line at 89,900, which is very important. We did see a retest of that number after yesterday's rally. That was okay. Most importantly, Bitcoin still holding above it. So the upside trajectory and the upside targets still do remain as long as Bitcoin again does hold that more setup more or less. I mean, the revenue ribbons right here get this one just about perfectly. And at this point, I'm starting to rethink my life as maybe I just do this for the lower term time frames. Working pretty damn well right there. But again, the midline is now actually, it has moved up from 89,900 to now more or less 90,000 bucks flush. So any sort of a daily closure below there does kind of destroy the short-term bullish hopium. But as long as Bitcoin's above there, bullish hopium is the more likely thing to be happening with another rally expected back up to the range high at about 94.5 to 95,000 bucks. At that point, very likely to actually break to the upside with a real move, a real fall through, and I think another 6-digit run for Bitcoin, which I think a lot of people are looking for. That is where I start to deviate from still the majority of probably most people in this community, or at least most people in the crypto sphere as of right now, because I am still defensive against this rally, ultimately failing at some point. But where does it fail? Does it fail from here? Probably not. Does it fail from higher? Probably yes. And again, my line in the sand for getting bullish on Bitcoin is 107.5, and I switch around all my philosophies to crown runs with bulls and bullish as fuck, I guess. Anyways, I was revisiting my early youngin' days earlier because I just randomly got a notification on YouTube about fucking Linkin Park, the Linkin Park album Hybrid Theory from this must have released 20 or 30 years ago now. Oh my God, it's actually fucking really good. It's really good. Listening to, I think it was 30 years ago. Okay, maybe not 30 years ago, but it was 25 years ago, right? It was 25 years ago, I'm pretty sure. I was listening to that when I was maybe 10 years old. So somewhere around there, I'm guessing. Wow, crazy shit, man. But that was back in the days when people released albums and every song on the fucking album was good. It's insane, man. It's actually insane. Anyways, if you're from, I guess, a millennial age group, yeah, 2000. So yeah, literally 26 years ago. Holy shit, man. Yeah, one of the most legendary of albums out there, man. Kratos got all of its B3s and trad fills in for its major weekly green dildos as G unit. Yeah, man, I've been watching this one a lot. Again, I post about this a lot when I did my portfolio video for just traditional markets and long-term investing. Very happy with this one. I did sell off some on the retest of the prior all-time high. It's just something I have to do. That's kind of, I guess, more of the trader side of me speaking. I guess I kind of gave into that impulse here, but ultimately this thing does want to does want to go higher. And I do want to state that, yes, while I did sell some, I do still hold a core position here for full disclosure. And I do think that this one is moving higher. I mean, it just literally made new all-time highs today. So, that potential for a reversal on last quarter, the fourth quarter of 2025, I think is completely negated here. This one wants to move higher into this here. I think this one might get a little bit crazier, up to 150, maybe even 180, targeting these highs from the 04 rally, way back on over here. But ultimately, I don't really see anything kind of stopping it from that. So this year, I do think that this one still has some more explosive gains to go. But again, understand I'm in from much lower. I'm in from under 33 bucks right here. So this is, it's just a little bit of an easier play for me right now because I don't have to get tested with this one. But if you're falling from later, well, I would say you're probably in a pretty fucking good position. just straight up there, man. I mean, generally right now, defense stocks are the hot thing, in my opinion. I mean, for fuck's sake, look at all these insane gainers over the past, over this past week. SHLD, which is Defense Technology ETF right here, making new all-time highs. ITA making new all-time highs. Red Cat making, actually not making new highs, but actually did put in a pretty phenomenal rally this last week. I think going up about 15-20%. Not bad. And then we also had this crazy one over here more recently, LUNR. I do think that this one is in a pullback, however. So if you did follow that sort of long-term call, I guess, that we had at the end of December, I do think you're going to get a short-term pushback right here. But ultimately, this one is bullish. I do think that this one will trade above the 2025 highs at some point, probably this quarter. And I think latest would be second quarter of this year. But short-term should pull back. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is still holding the line, like I said. So I do still have hopium here for Bitcoin. I just don't think it's the strongest thing of all time. I think right now, if you're looking for the big opportunities, that is, of course, Not in the corns. It's not in the corns. It's over there yonder in traditional markets with real assets. Crazy idea. The companies that have real revenues. Unbelievable. Who would have thought? Anyways, I'll read through some of these comments. I see Caretaker. What's up, man? Good to see you, my man. Bear Nutrition. Good morning to you as well. Our lovely moderators, good friends, and also some of the most competent of coders that I have been around. But we have added a couple more people to the coding list. Caretaker is always going to be my number one. That guy's just been fucking phenomenal since day one. But now, you know, we've had Pesto pop up and we've had Revan pop up as well. Revan, the progenitor of this baby right here. And of course, Bear Nutrition's been doing his own work with the price action pivots. Just lovely to see, man. Whenever I find someone who's competent with coding, it's just such a fucking joy to work with them. And these guys are just really the backbone of our community. I mean, without their tools, I would still be running off of primordial tools, which, I mean, you can still make it work, of course, but these just much better. Anyways, on that topic, for the historical price action statistics, I should note that Bitcoin getting another pretty heroic bounce off the lower end of the daily range. Yesterday was a pretty phenomenal bounce as well, trading up all the way from about 89.5 to closing price of 91,000 bucks, and intraday traded even higher than that. So again, if you are using this tool to scalp, I would suggest not getting super greedy with these, although the last couple ones have been really fucking good. I mean, shit, the last one, and even the one from Monday was a phenomenal gainer as well. So if you are using this, I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see some people employ who are not successful with it is they look for these multi-$1,000 moves every fucking time. You're not going to get that every fucking time. If you are going to get it, it's going to be on the same side of the current trend. And it is interesting to see the last couple of days here dig in with big lower wicks, because that does suggest that, you know, this trend probably is flipping and this probably is going to be the next higher low right here. But of course, it just gives us a very obvious and easy invalidation point. As long as Bitcoin is above today's low or yesterday's low, more or less, same thing, which is also the Revan Ribbons midline right here, the bias is to the upside. It might take some time. It might, it might be sideways and up first, eating up another few days, but ultimately the bias is to the upside. And even today, Friday does have, I mean, not super high returns for positive closing Fridays, but at least it is on the upper end of that at about 2% for positive closing Fridays. Again, if Bitcoin does play that out to the upside, that would be about 92,800. And I would say that if Bitcoin does play that out to the upside today, I would be looking for a pullback on the first pass of that one. I don't think Bitcoin's going to zoom to new highs on this rally this week. I think that we're kind of done for this week, and more or less this is a setup for next week if Bitcoin wants to take another leg up, working off of this higher low that has been constructed on Thursday and today's low as well. So really good pivot point right here. In other words, that is the invalidation for me getting, I guess, short-term bearish with another move back down. I don't know, 85 to 83,000 bucks. Very likely, in my opinion, if that were to happen. But until then, this thing still, in my opinion, is coalescing for a nice run to the upside. Just, I get a very concerned in the low $100,000 territory. Especially if we see anything resembling like a very obvious rejection right there. As far as Revan Ribbons goes right now, the midline still providing the impetus for the bounce, and that does imply that the dotted lines here in the red zone at about 94,150 is going to be a sort of short-term target in this region. And as long as Bitcoin is holding above that midline, that is the short-term target. It also is actually a resolution point to the upside as well for a daily closure. So if you are working off of a daily, any sort of a daily closure above 94,150, that also would be good enough for me to declare a breakout to the upside with targets up, like I said, to 6-digit Bitcoin, come back to it after that, see what the hell is going on. Working on from there, of course, we did identify hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame here on Caretaker's RSI. 6-hour time frame populated it as well, I do believe. Let's wait for it to load. And it's actually going to populate another drive right here too. So I do look at this as, this is the time for Bitcoin to try the upside. Like I said, it's been testing a lot of patience, but you can see the 4-hour and the 6-hour 200 simple governing these lows as well. So a lot of confluent things coming in that region. Let's call it upper $89,000 territory. So again, really important bias buster. If it does get invalidated, like I said, 85,000 bucks to 83,000 bucks is where I'd be looking towards. But for now, upside, a lot more likely. I mean, shit, even the crown oscillator is turning up for the first time since Since basically what Monday, yeah, Monday again, very low term time frame, but that was where this initial rally got going. So this is operating in exactly the way that you would expect if Bitcoin is going to flip around here and try that move. So it does look like patience will likely be rewarded, but still, I think this is probably going to be a next week type thing, I suppose, at this point. And now that I recognize that the 2-day time frame also has gotten freshly that red 5 EMA crossing to the upside of the yellow 21 EMA. The reason why this is important is because generally we're going to expect a correction to that green 55 EMA before any sort of, legitimate downside. That green 55 EMA is about 96,800, 96,700-ish region, somewhere around there. So again, just a general area of interest for this move. I guess this would be like a next week type thing because this week's mostly over and this one actually doesn't even close today, it closed tomorrow. So a little bit of waiting to go there, but I suppose next week, there is opportunity for this move to evolve to the upside. And of course, moving up to about 96,700 would obviously resolve our current range, meaning that, 6-digit Bitcoin becomes a strong likelihood. Again, in my opinion, it is almost, okay, I don't want to say like it's almost guaranteed, but it's just a very obvious target based off of the history. Anytime Bitcoin has even tested this bi-weekly 55 EMA, it's always gotten a bounce, even though the bounce has failed ultimately, but it's always gotten a bounce above that yellow 21 EMA. Same thing that you saw over here in 2022, you can see basing off a few times on that green 55, and then boom, big bounce above there, taking it up by, more than double-digit percentage above that yellow moving average. But, did fail overall. Same thing over here. Boom, big bounce above the yellow 21, then failed later on. Same thing over here, big bounce above the 21, failed miserably later on. Same thing around here as well, big bounce above the yellow 21, and then it failed miserably from there. So as of right now, that yellow 21 EMA on the biweekly time frame, which is it's not even a minimum target. Every time it's gotten at least a little bit above there is 98,550. So we see a lot of things coming in around this region. That's why I say, low 6 digits is, I think, quite likely. But my line in the sand, again, is 107,500. 107,500 is where I start to look at this rally as a real reversal, implying new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And whatever sort of downside may have been likely before is completely invalidated, and just time to let this asset rally and let it soar like a fucking crow, I guess, or something like that, with the energy of a 5-year-old as well. Should also let you know, while we are here, because I completely whiffed on it at the beginning of the stream as well, we still have our sale going on for the next few days. The code is 2026 for 2026. Anyone who's joining in for the new year and is starting a New Year's resolution to become a trader or an investor or whatever, we'll help you up with a little bit of a 20% off discount with that code 2026 with that teachable link in the description below. Works on anything, works on everything, basically. And yeah, that will end next Wednesday, and we'll actually be out of town for a few days as well, so figure something out there, I suppose. But in the meantime, we're here and it's full, it's business as usual. And as far as the weekly goes for the Pesto Fear Index, Fear and Greed Index, I keep on calling it the Pesto Fear Index just because I use it for that purpose more or less exclusively. Still working off of this. It is coming off of extreme fearful zones. So, this coupled with that weekly stochastic momentum also to cross the upside, I mean, it's just been a really good bounce sort of bias coming off of this read throughout the full history of Bitcoin. That would be all of these green vertical bars here. So I'm still looking at this as relevant. I'm still looking at this as the bounce hasn't even really begun, because anytime that we have seen the bounce, evolve from this, we've seen the fear and greed index go from extreme fear to at least a very high greed read. And when I say a very high greed read, I mean like at least above 80 here. And as of right now, another one of the reasons why I don't think that this has even, begun the bounce more or less is because we are still in extreme fear. It's around a 25 read as of right now. So, realistically, I expect this to get up all the way to, 75, 80 minimum before calling the next high on this rally. And maybe that does happen when Bitcoin gets up to the 50% retracement level. Maybe it gets, maybe it gets to the 382, whatever it is. That's where to really be keeping a keen eye on, for any sort of potential rejections like behavior. If that happens, yeah, you're going to hear me be a pretty fucking obnoxious bear, to be honest. But yeah, Other than that, 5-day 5 EMA setup still valid over here. Quantum wave bands just took along actually yesterday, I think. No, it was this morning. Yeah, very early this morning and Friday at 89,900. Bitcoin already trading up more than $2,000 from that number. So not bad right there. But again, if you are taking these, I personally would be managing the exits myself. I don't. A lot of the time, I feel like this one does give up a lot of potential gains. It still does stay consistent over time. I mean, again, the strategy report right here speaks for itself. But my point is that, you got $2,000 in your hand almost immediately. Like, just fucking close it. You can reposition later, but $2,000 in your hand right now. I mean, look, like that's a good trade for an hourly time frame. That's a good trade for an hourly time frame. Take the money, get ready for the next opportunity. That's my philosophy here if you're going to be more of a short-term time frame trader. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got today for Bitcoin. Let's go see what's going on in the comment section. By the way, if you did post a super chat from the previous stream, because I did accidentally have to do 2 streams here, I did save your comments. So for Pisa and Steven Schickman, I got you indeed. So let's start it off actually with Pisa, because he's first and he's looking at short-term to medium-term targets for XRP. As long as Bitcoin's holding it up here, I do still think that XRP can get up to, well, it already got up to my 235 target. So I guess the next major area eventually would be about $2.50. See what it's doing right now. Whoa, this one really rejected hard from that 235 high, 240 high. Oh, it did get up to 240, and that was also a pretty big area. So when we looked at this one on Wednesday, we did say that there was potential for hidden bearish divergence. It is still there. It is, I mean, it kind of already played out, to be fair. But if you wanted to make sort of an analogous zone to the, let's just call it $90,000 level for Bitcoin, the same level for XRP would be the 55 EMA here on the daily at 208.5. As long as you're closing above there, I guess you could see a higher low form here. It does look a lot weaker to me. You do certainly have significant potential for hidden bearish divergence, and we did see extremes on daily BBWP. So this one has a lot more toppy signals than what we did see on Bitcoin. While I do think that you might retest this high at 235, 240, I'm hesitant to call for a new high in this rally just yet. I just think that you might get another short-term pop back onto the upside alongside a Bitcoin try to the upside. But I mean, pound for pound, this one did have a much bigger move to the upside. Let's just see for, that 180 low to this high. That was a 33% move to the upside. That was pretty fucking good. I think that you will retest that high. I'm not so convinced that you will reclaim that high. But as far as short term goes, yeah, I do think that you will bounce this one again. I do think that you bounce back up, 220 to 225, very likely. Come back to it after that. Obviously, if Bitcoin falters, you're going to see this thing falter as well. But right now, Bitcoin's conditions are conducive to this thing. I think having, another rally attempt. Let me take another sip of this caffeine. My father, who is actually living with me right now, got me a nice Starbucks Americano this morning. It's really fucking good. And that's the beautiful thing about living with your parents. I moved back in with my parents. No, we actually reversed it. They're actually moved into my house. So it's by rule. It's really funny. Like, it's really funny being a parent to your parents. Like, hey, mom, get the fuck off TikTok. Like, stop melting your brain with the fucking TikToks for 1 second. I mean, obviously I'm joking, but at the same time, it is pretty hilarious because my parents are addicted. They're addicted to social media in the same way that, like, an 8-year-old is addicted to their phone, who is brought up as an iPad child. I'm telling you right now, like, it is actually hilarious to watch. I can be looking at them straight in the face, talking, like saying something to them, and they are just so glued to their phone and so in their own world, complete just not non-acknowledgement. It's actually hilarious, man. It's actually fucking hilarious. Sees like button, neuron activation, smashes it. Fuck yeah, Mr. Caretaker. Tell them to clean their my mom actually does do a lot of cleaning. I can say she's very good at that. She does all the best thing about having your parents live with you is, mom, can you do the laundry? Can you clean the dishes? That's what they get for freeloading, okay? That's what they get for freeloading. Anyways, are they falling for AI videos? You know what my dad loves? Oh my God, okay. You know what he absolutely loves? Elsa puts on these AI slop videos of like very nice nature scenes, like it'll be like a fireplace with like like snow in the background on a river, and it looks really pretty, but it's obviously AI. My dad loves it. He fucking loves it. Like he will stare at the TV for like 2 hours straight, and he's like, I'm really enjoying this. I mean, it's good. Like, I'm happy for him. It's nice to see them happy, but goddamn, it's like, oh God. Just wait until they get, fake AI crowns calling them up. They're not gonna be able to tell the difference. They're fucked. Mm. Mm. Okay, surprisingly, an Americano from Starbucks is actually very good. It's actually really, really good. I wasn't expecting that at all. All right, cool. Got my phone over here. What else we got, man? Let me just read through a few of these comments, then we'll get back to the super chats. Just want to see Crown drinks its own pee from Billy Madison. Yes, indeed. Much hate from Hateland. Good, I'm early. Fuck yeah, man. What else we got? Yeah, someone asked about Lunar. I think we'll get to that soon enough. But first, let's get to Steven Schickman. He was indeed next. He's looking at MSTZ daily, weekly. So this is that inverse 2x Bitcoin, or sorry, not Bitcoin, but MicroStrategy. Not really any different than what we saw on Wednesday. So what I said on Wednesday still holds. I was trying to dig in for a low here, but I do think it will come lower to 12.5 or 12.25. Try for a higher low there. Technically speaking, you do have a herp and derp right here. Your neckline would be pretty obviously right here at about 1366. So that actually does work out quite well. Let's see what the intended target would be if it does break down, because I think that this one does have a pretty good chance to break down. That actually be pointed towards a new low. So if this does play out, this is actually quite significant because it would create a lower low than what we saw from the 9th of December. Thus, that would be a real reversal for this thing. And thus, I would have to be bullish on MicroStrategy, which I am bullish for a pretty nice bounce on MicroStrategy. So I still stick with what I've been saying on this, that I do think it will come lower, but I would be very cognizant, like super, super cognizant that it can't, if it does put in a higher low at 12.5, 12.25, then this is bullish, meaning that MicroStrategy is bearish. But if that target does play out and you do get a new low, again, below that December low from the 9th at 1039, at that point, I become a real bear on this, I suppose. This thing should come down and undo all of the October rally. And I guess, that should get Bitcoin back up to, 6 digits, I would imagine. So, kind of a big number to be aware of right there. At the same time, I could easily call this one significantly bullish if it can just trade back above yesterday's high, 1586. If that happens, then yeah, it's just bullish from here. But first things first, let's see if this pattern actually plays out. Because if it does, that would be a real nice reversal there. Anyways, you're also looking at Zeta Global daily, weekly. Gotcha. Okay, ZETA. This is a real stonk as well. It's a new Steven Schickman has dropped, and actually not bad here. Taking out that last lower high from September 2025 does confirm the reversal. You got a higher high and a higher low. I think that this one will retest the highs that you saw from December 2024, and again in February of 2025 at 26.5 to 28 bucks, something like that. Can it continue on the rally from there? Sure, but I'd be expecting a pullback first. So I'd wait for that move to happen, pull back a little bit. Probably does continue from there. I mean, you do have a reversal formation here and an inverted head and shoulders on the monthly. So, a short-term pullback is not deadly at all. The second that it starts to close above, 27, 28 bucks, this thing should, retest all-time highs, probably make new all-time highs. That'd be pretty damn good. Maybe I need to write this one down on my own list. Don't like this sharp sell-off, though. Let's see how big of a sell-off this was. Oh, God, 72%. Yeah, very reminiscent of a crypto shitcoin. But that's really where the crypto shitcoin game is. People are looking for alt season. Guys, we deserve an alt season. Yes, we deserve an alt season. Your alt season that you deserve is actually in stonks. So, I don't know. Let go of the crypto shitcoins and get over to the fucking real trading land, I guess. Tron Jeremy says, hey there, what's up, man? Solana, very long term. Is it okay to say Solana is in a giant consolidation on the monthly and quarterly? You can say that, but I think I just think it's long term going to be a major loser, personally. But yeah, technically speaking, it does still hold the consolidation, because your consolidation is effectively what? It's the lows right here at around 100 or 110, and your highs from the September close at about 208. Basically $100 range between 110 to 210. To make that an easier statement. Personally, I think that it will break down over time. But yeah, if you want to go super technically, then yes, you are correct. It does still hold the range, and I do think that it should rally from here. I think on the assuming Bitcoin continues this rally as well, this thing should get up to like 155, 160. That's kind of where you'd be expecting the next lower high if this thing is going to fail, somewhere around, maybe a little bit higher than that, like 165, 170, somewhere in that pocket there though. But yeah. Versus Bitcoin. If you're looking at Solana versus Bitcoin, I doubt this one's going to be in a consolidation. Uh, no, this is a downtrend emerging. You do have a lower high already on the swing high from September. If you're talking about a consolidation, I guess your consolidation would be right here. Or sorry, let me get rid of this because it's not relevant. It would be between these two boundaries at about 20,000 satoshis versus 13,500 satoshis. Yeah, that is a consolidation range, but it is a bearish bias here because you do have a lower low and a lower high. So it might bounce a little bit higher here, possible, but ultimately I do think that this one will resolve to the downside, and you do see this one basically get back down to the 2023 lows, given enough time. Like if we fast forward, I don't know, 6 months, 12 months from now, yeah, I do think it's going to be something like that. But in the short term, yeah, certainly consolidation, just a bearish bias on it. At least for me. All right, what am I sitting on? Oh, I'm sitting on my jacket. Whoops. Shit. Great White Hype says, Jim, good morning, crime. What's up, man? I say GM to my mom as well. It's pretty funny. MRVL on the daily and weekly. MRVL. Marvel Technology. All right, cool. Long-term, really good chart. I just don't think it's ready in the short term. I think in the short term, it wants to trade lower first. Yeah. I don't really have much to say about it other than that. I do think that this one will try some downside. You are in a range as far as the monthly goes. There's your highs, your lows are coming in and governed by the green 55 EMA. You just rejected the high, so I think you at least come down to the yellow moving average at 78. Probably try for a short-term bounce there, but I do think this one does base again, not necessarily bearish, but it bases again lower at that green 55, which it has been doing since 2025 March, and that's about 66. So basically, if I had to draw out a LARP line, something like this, comes down lower, tries to bounce, fails to bounce, comes down here, and then hopefully reaccumulates and then heads higher. Because long-term, not a bad chart at all. Elsa, what are you angry about right now? The K stream is not working on your computer. What do you mean it's not working on your computer?
It just crashes all the time.
The stream does? Well, that's weird.
It's my computer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. Biff the Bull says, I'm here learning Pengu on the 4-hour and daily. Sure. I'm sure it's great as well. Yes. Pengu coins going straight to the fucking floor as usual, but I gotta go to the gym later, so I don't want to bust my voice. I mean, even this thing probably is going to bounce a little bit more towards what, 16 cents or sorry, not 6. Whoa. We missed a digit there. 1.5 to 1.6 cents, something like that. Still long-term bearish. Still, this thing is probably going down only for the rest of its lifespan. But I don't know. I'm actually getting a lot of reasons why it's probably already topped out on this rally too. If it does have another leg up, then yeah, I guess somewhere around 1.5 cent. But the long term, this one just wants to go down, man. Just wants to go down. So I don't know. If it gets another leg up, like I said, 1.5 to 1.6 cent from there, it's a shitcoin. Like it goes down. It likes to go fucking down. It likes to go fucking down. Crazy idea. Shitcoins go down. Amazing idea. And short term 4-hour time frame range between 1.3 and 1.1. Just rejected the high, so it probably comes back down to the low, but I don't think it's ready to break down just yet. I think that's like a next week thing if it's going to happen. Devald says, hello, good sir. What's up, man? Lunar 4-hour daily weekly. I got you. Okay. Again, full disclosure. I do hold this one myself. It's trading 1881. We called this one out when it was trading like $13. Who called this one out, by the way? Was it Steven? Someone called this out on stream, and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. Yeah, I'd say the same thing as I said earlier this stream. Overall, I am bullish on it. Overall, I do think that it will make new highs above the 2025 highs this year, probably in the next, before the first half is over. But in the short term, retesting this high, it's very likely to pull back. And we are, actually, no, we're not seeing anything super crazy right there. Yeah, very, very, very likely to pull back on the first pass. A little bit of, well, no, not even bearish divergence right there. It's just, I don't think it has the juice to bust through right now. I think you're likely to do something like this. Maybe retest that high, come back down base here, and then reaccumulate anything above $15 is fair game, and then try that move. But yeah, long term, I do think that it makes new highs. I mean, this is good on a quarterly. I mean, that is objectively a higher low right there, and you're already retesting that prior high. So follow through to the upside is the bias. Just short term pullback, however low that may come. I guess it's likely to happen here, but long term, no, I'm bullish on this, man. I'm very bullish on this, especially as long as you hold what would it be? Yeah, 14.5 bucks, the same breakout area that we had from last at the end of last year, basically. What's up, Aaron? I made it to the USA since last night. Fuck yeah, man. Glad to have you. Fucking glad to have you, man. We need more Iranians here in the US. The good Iranians, okay? The Persians, okay? There's Iranians who are like the mullahs, I guess, and then the Iranians who are the Persians Iranians. These guys are some of the fucking best Americans. I'm telling you. I've known a lot of them since I was a kid. I even met a lot of them as, as an adult as well. Some of the best fucking Americans that we got. Anyways, Aaron also informs us that the regime in Iran has completely shut down the internet. Holy fuck. Closed the world's doors to Iranians and open fire on the people. Yeah, man, that is fucking wild. Wow. They're really, I mean, I've been reading about this, but it's crazy to hear about someone who's actually from there, who's actually experienced it. Yeah. They closed the world down on their own people. They closed the internet down on their own people. Like, imagine that. That's why you need guns. That's why, look, if you're an American, buy your fucking guns while you can. I'm not even joking. Like, look, I know I just bought my first gun and I'm probably like the meme right now. It's like, buy guns. They're good. Buy them before they go away. I'm telling you, man. Look, those poor Iranian people, if the people had guns, they could fight back. They could fight back. Maybe it would be very, very bloody. Maybe it would be very, very ugly, but it would be a much better position than just only the regime has guns. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. I hope things work out well there. I think things will work out well there, but of course, in the short term, very, very tumultuous. Elsa says Trump should attack. I mean, we already attacked Iran. Attack them again. The problem is you don't want to hurt the people of Iran, but of course, they have the technology to target primarily the regime, and hopefully, I'm sure there's a bunch of covert operations already going on because it's obviously in the best interest of the U.S. and the Western world, despite what the dummies say, because they have to appease their constituents. But I'm sure behind the doors, under the table, they are very, very happy that this is going down, that the regime is maybe seeing its final days. Hopefully, man, hopefully not at the expense of too many Iranians, because that is just really, 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 really unfortunate. Iran really is historically, it's one of the most important countries. It really is. If you look at Persia and look at all of the things, all of the amazing achievements and the amazing discoveries of the Persians, we need them. Like, they are a net benefit to the world. Like, most of the advanced mathematics come from Persia. A lot of philosophy comes from Persia. A lot of the great texts come from Persia. Persia used to rule the fucking world. I mean, they almost destroyed the Western world too, but they did a pretty good job. I mean, shit, man, you can't hate them. They were powerful. They were amazing. They were responsible for a lot of the technological advancements. But anyways, man, I'm glad to hear that you're safe, and I hope that you enjoy the U.S., man. I truly do. Arctic Web3 says GM Pendle. Wow, I haven't heard this one pulled up in a long time. All right. Oh God, Pendle versus Ethereum. All right, we'll do it. I'll do it. Sir, this is not a chart. This is not a chart. We have to do Pendle versus versus Tether versus the dollar. Yeah. Overall, it's down. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lower highs on a higher term time frame. This thing is down only, but in the short term, does it bounce more? I don't know. I really don't know. If it does bounce more, I think it's doomed. Or if it doesn't bounce, then obviously it's doomed from here. The real question is, does it do that or does it do this? I guess I already drew in that LARP line. I don't know which way it goes. Either way, if you fast forward it through enough times, I do think that it comes down and finds its way back down to those 2023 lows. This is it's a garbage chart. It's terrible chart. In the short term, I just don't like getting super bearish on things that are resting on the 200 simple. So I do think that there is possibility for another rally, maybe back up as much as $3 to $3.5. But that would be some hopium. Overall, long term, I think this thing very obviously wants to go down. Just what sort of route it takes towards that downside is a good question. I really don't know. Great White Hype says RR stonk on the weekly and daily. Okay, gotcha. Back to stonkland right here. Rich tech robotics. Fucking yes, baby. What's the use case for Pendle, says Arden? I don't know. To hopefully gamble on and make money like pretty much everything else in the shitcoin scene are right here. I don't know when I drew out these LARP lines, but I think that they're still relevant. I think that they're still playing out, and I think that this thing will resolve to the upside. The monthly is telling all right here. The second that you trade back above December's high, this thing is bullish, and it should test, you know, $7.5, $8 from there. You got low, you got high, you got higher low and higher high. Buys is on continuation. And I mean, it already had the pullback from retesting the prior closing high over here from 2024, 2023. I think this thing has a lot of potential, whatever the fuck it is. Rich Tech Robot. Oh, it's a robotics. Great narrative. Great narrative indeed. I'm actually going to write this one down for myself. I'd like to do my own research onto this. Let's see. Where's my, hey, you bastard, you fucking piece of shit. Stupid computer. Fuck. It's my self-talk. You know how you read in books, like self-talk is very important. Make sure not to talk to yourself in a bad way because your brain is listening. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I don't believe that shit. I'm a fucking moron. I'm a fucking retard, but it's okay. It's okay. See, people are too concerned about these sort of things. All right. Yeah, I wrote this one down myself. There's obviously a super easy way to be getting bearish on it as well. And it's just coming back down and closing below the November low right here at 280. Until you do that, though, I generally think that this is going to happen right here. The LARP lines are still in play. Still overall good. I really like the reaccumulation on these higher lows already. It's good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. Anyways, Cousin Burley, what's up, Cousin Burley? Affirm on weekly. Gotcha. Okay. AFRM. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a humanoid robot. That's cool. Saw one of those making coffee at LA. Really? They're already doing it. Holy shit. Holy fook. Affirm, good. Kind of similar to the last chart. Not as good as the last chart though, because it has not tested that prior high just yet. But you know, the reversal is real. You got a slew of higher highs and higher lows here. You know, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. What is this? Maybe another higher low. Crazy idea. The trend might just be your friend right here. Yeah, overall, I think it's good. I do think that this rally will retest somewhere around the $91 to $92 high right here. Maybe even just goes for $100. I'm just bullish on this as long as you're above the December to the 15th low of $65. Just let it float up and to the right. This is good. This is good. Yeah, no major issues with this. Even hidden bullish evidence on the last bi-weekly higher low right here. So yeah, I do think that you retest the highs from September of 2025. Probably just goes for new highs on the rally too. Maybe not new all-time highs, but new rallies on the high, maybe up to like 110. Somewhere around there. Overall, this is good. It wants to move higher. Interwoven says on stonks, ONDS. Oh man, I'm glad that you said it's a stonk, because ONDS I think is also a crypto herpity derp. Yeah, it's got a crypto sort of shitcoin chart as well. You know, dumps only and then pumps up in one fucking go. Look, I do think that you're going to enter into a pullback relatively soon, somewhere around this $15 to $16 high. That's not a bad thing though. It's just, you know, you're likely to pull back after retesting a major high like that. Long term, I could say that this thing is bullish. I mean, you hold your higher lows from November of last year, but that's not helpful. That's all the way down at $6. So if it does pull back after moving a little bit higher, like 15, $16, I'd be looking maybe somewhere around, you know, 11, $12. I'm basically bullish on this thing as well. I would be anticipating a pullback very soon. And then a real try towards, you know, $20, something like this. Again, market conditions are very conducive towards a lot of stocks just rallying. I mean, for fuck's sake, I think Trump just directed like Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac or whatever the fuck to basically buy like $200 billion in mortgage securities. When was the last time we did that? I don't want to know. I don't know, man. I don't know. When you look through the history of government intervention in these sort of things, it does happen a lot. Like, we shouldn't pretend that this is something that's new, but I generally don't know. I don't think it's generally a good thing historically, though, when the government intervenes like this. But I guess we'll see. I mean, so far it's good for assets. I mean, in this economy, if you're in the U.S., the only way to maintain your purchasing power, the only way to actually get wealthy is quite literally to invest. You can make great sums of income. And this is really why I started to become a long-term investor myself, is because I was doing very well generating income from trading. But after 2020, I had like this shock experience because I generated a good amount of income that I've been saving up, but only keeping in dollars at that point. And after 2020, within a couple of years, my purchasing power got halved more or less. And that scared the shit out of me. And I was like, how could I make all this money and then basically half of it is gone and then the other half went to fucking taxes? That sucks. That fucking sucks. How do I get around this, or how do I play the game? And that's when I started to educate myself. So yeah, right now, if you're in the US, the only way to stop spinning your wheels is to invest in the stock market. It's the only way. And with all of these government spending programs and whatnot, we can only assume more money into the economy, meaning stocks will go up versus the dollar, but they're not really gaining value. The dollar's just losing value. So it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. But it's just people don't know the fucking game. If everyone was investing all of their excess income, I think the US would be in a really good place. And also stocks would be higher because more people are buying, but more people would be in a good place. Instead, people just aren't taught these things. If they were taught this, you're not supposed to save your money in dollars. Don't save your money in dollars. Don't save your money in dollars. You will only lose value. If you save it in stock, yes, you have risk and you're gonna have to survive some downturns for sure. But at the same time, it's your only hope. And long term, you generally will outperform. You generally will do well. But yeah, anyways, Chris Fell is looking at MicroStrategy Daily Weekly. Let's get back into it over here. Just before going on some more bullshit rants for me. Why would you pay taxes? Because jail, sir. That's why. Why would you pay taxes? I don't know. Because there's some guys who'll come to your door and put you in jail if you don't. That's actually why. That's literally why. Would anyone pay taxes if they didn't do that? I mean, look at fucking Greece. Look at Italy. They don't pay taxes. No one comes to their door because no one gives a shit. Here, you got to pay taxes because they'll come to your door and they will put you in a cage. It's just how it goes. Why pay taxes? I don't know. Do you like jail? Anyways. Yeah, so as far as MicroStrategy goes, I still think that this thing is going to bounce from here. I don't think it's going to blow through the 200 simple without a decent bounce first. So I still think that this thing is going between 220 to 250 at some point. Maybe even, sorry, I might have to adjust that up. Maybe more like 225 to 270. Big range right there. But I think that this thing has a big rally in it. Again, it's almost every fucking time you come off of the 200 simple, you're going to get a nice bounce, even if it is long-term bearish. And it doesn't have bullish divergence. Well, that sucks. Maybe the 5-day does. Nope, doesn't have it either. I need to find a time frame that confirms my biases immediately. Yeah, I still do think that it's going to bounce here, but long term might be very bad, but short term, should bounce. Cool. McLaren says, "Hey Crown, I mentioned LUNR a few weeks ago. Massive thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. It's one of the reasons, among the reasons why I do these streams. I actually learn a lot from the community as well. I just wanted to see what you think of Planet Labs, symbol PL. Sure. Let's check it out. All right. So this is the fucking legend who brought us Lunar. Looks good for medium to long term. I'm guessing it's this thing. Oh, it is this thing here. Weekly looks really good already. Monthly looks really good already. Yeah, you're breaking out to new all-time highs. So this thing is in a blue sky breakout. I think this thing is obviously going to make new highs throughout this quarter and probably next as well. I mean, I don't have a real analysis on this because it's just up, and all we can do right now is just wait for local highs to form. You just had a fresh breakout this week, so I'm inclined to say you're making new highs for a while longer. I mean, wait for the weekly BBWP to kind of go back up to extreme levels again at 100 percentile probably before even anticipating another weekly swing high like you got back here in October before this pretty nice higher low was formed, but 36% lower. So yeah, I do agree. It's good. I do agree that it's probably got a lot more new highs, but I think the risk to reward here it's just more difficult. Because I personally like to get in on the pullbacks rather than the breakouts. So in this case, it's breaking out right now. For me, that's a no-go. But I understand that some people, they prefer that sort of an entry. For me, it's a no-go because in my opinion, the risk-adjusted risk to reward here is not great because you're already on that breakout. And, it's just like how much higher is it going to go before the next sort of correction? I mean, maybe it gets to, in a crazy situation, maybe like $30. Okay. I don't think it's going to get that high before a correction, but just for an example, And then when it pulls back, it probably pulls back somewhere around here, maybe a little bit closer to $20. So that's what I'd be waiting for. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a great chart, and I do think that it has new highs to go. I just don't personally want to enter right here, even though that might be a terrible decision long term. It's just my personal preferences as a long term investor in this case. But I can totally understand people entering in on a blue sky breakout. I mean, breakouts typically leads towards new highs, right? I mean, just how it's going to go. It just depends on your risk tolerance, I guess. Chris Vela says, Decker's stock, daily, weekly. Gotcha, man. Decker's, Dekers. All right, cool. Trades IPO. Didn't know that. Not as good. It already has potential for hidden bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. You can see there is a lower high here forming at the 200 simple compared to the high that we saw from September all the way at 126, now trading at 104. So that's not very great for this thing to, continue the rally from here. In other words, I think that this rally will fail. And you do come back down to this November low at some point. Am I bearish on it though? Not necessarily. But I do think that this rally is not going to prove itself with a new high. I think at most you get something like this, like 115, 116, then come back down to those lows, and then maybe it reaccumulates there and tries a real rally. Maybe it just falls through. I don't know, but I don't think that this is the rally that brings it back into an uptrend is what I'm trying to say. And I think that this prior LARP line target, maybe a little bit too high, but I do think that it probably bounces a little bit more here. I just don't think it's going to reverse right now. So whether the high is in at 104, whether it goes up to 115, I don't know. I just would be expecting a pushback somewhere around this region here, come back down to those lows. And if it does base again on those lows, really good signal. But it's just going to take some time. In other words, I don't think it's ready to push through or anything like that. What are you laughing at, Elsa? There's no laughing. There's no laughing in streaming. I actually showed Elsa. A classic American movie, A League of Their Own. She didn't like it. She thought it was stupid, but whatever. It's okay. My dad was like truly offended when he heard her say that, because my dad is like the biggest fan of Madonna. It's a very strange thing. What? We should show my parents white chicks. My mom they'd probably like it, actually. My mom's probably seen it, I would assume. Mr. Escobar says, Crown has NYO broken the long-term trend from 2024. Let's see. Let's check it out over here. I don't know. Oh, NVO. Whoops. Derped. Oh, yeah, it's Novo Nordisk. Yeah, this thing. This is the fat people drug, right? It's the fat people drug. God, I am the worst. Hey, what did I? Oh, I've done goofed. Severely here. Hold on, I need to. Shit. Huh. What happened there? I was just looking for my notes somewhere, but I can't find them. Where did I put my damn notes? Oh well, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. But I did. What? Where did it go? Seriously, where did it go? You fucking bastard. You idiot, Crown. You fucking moron. Oh, God. All right. Let's do this again. What was the other one? Oh, yeah. NVO. And what was the one before that? Oh, no. It was RR. Yeah, RR. Okay, cool. Yeah, as far as this thing, has it broken the trend? Well, I mean, if you're talking about this parabolic uptrend right here, yeah, absolutely. But long term, I think it's going to do a Bitcoin-esque type of correction. You saw a 71% drawdown. Okay, we could probably say the downside is over here. While I do think that long-term it sets in a base here, I just don't think it's ready right now. Can't really call a reversal here as long as you're below 81.5 bucks, but I do think it's probably going to do something like this on the LARP lines. I marked this area off on the low for a while ago. I think that the LARP lines are going to be somewhat directionally correct, where it's going to try a rally here, it's going to fail that rally, come back down, hopefully set in a higher low, try another rally, set in another higher low after that, and then work its way up. I think that the downside is over, though. If it does have another stab to the downside, I guess the 200 simple here is fair game at 37 bucks, but that's not much different from where it's already seen on the lows. So I I actually doubt that that's going to happen. I think it's going to be sideways here for a long time. I mean, this is a monthly time frame. It could go sideways for a couple of years and then try a real upside move. But I think it's kind of a dead pick for a while, to be honest. I think it's a dead pick, meaning that just not going to see any significant upside rallies for a while. So yeah. All right. Blazing Saddles, yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. My dad loves that movie, by the way, as well. Classic Mel Brooks movie. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, we need to show you that. That's a great one. We're educating we're educating Elsa in American
Massage reviews recommended.
Asian massage reviews. Yeah, it is a great one. It is a great one. Absolutely, Blazing Saddles, like a fucking classic Gene Wilder movie and classic Mel Brooks movie. I wonder if it holds up today though. All right, what else we got here? We are seeing hand, foot, mouth disease around my area now too, Mr. Grant. Wait, really? Where do you live? What the fuck? I didn't imagine this. You have no idea that hand, foot, mouth disease even exists, and then you get it, and you think you're some sort of a leper. That was me just 2 weeks ago. Crown, thoughts on WUSD versus Bitcoin? Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. All right. Wait, what? Sir, what is this bullshit? Terrible. You didn't need me to tell you that though. You want to look at Monero versus Bitcoin? Sure. Let's see what Monero versus Bitcoin doing. Long term, I think it's a big loser. And actually, I do think it puts in another lower high right here or around here. It might spike last month's high once again, but I think that this rally is more or less done. Yeah, this is a good place for it to top out, I think. See what Monero looks like versus the dollar, though. It should be pretty good, I would assume, if it looks like this on the Bitcoin pairing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Monero try a new high. This is good. Monero is good. Monero is probably one of the best long-term setups in crypto right now. Already testing prior highs, been putting in higher lows for a long time, ever since 2018. There is an upside implied target to be made on this thing. See what it looks like. Okay, hold on. I think we did something not correct there. Okay, maybe not on the log scale. Let's take a more reasonable estimate of this. Let's see what we look like. Yeah, maybe around like $800 on a confirmed breakout above last month's high. I think this thing will try a real breakout. Long term, it's certainly setting up. It's just, is it going to do it in the short term? I don't know. Overall good though. Apple in the daily if you can, sure. APPL, gotcha. All right. Wait, APPL? Do you mean this thing? No, you probably actually mean Apple. Probably mean this thing. AAPL, sir. Short-term swing high, short-term. Let me go back to this chart here. Yeah, short-term, obviously a swing high there. Yeah, even on the monthly, you got some bearish evidence here. So I do think that this one will come lower, probably towards like 245. Maybe tries for a higher low there between 245 and 235, something like that. You do have bearish divergence on the monthly time frame, so that is kind of a big deal. Weekly time frame has the same bearish divergence as well. So yeah, I'd probably be looking. I'd probably be looking for one more stab lower after maybe a short-term daily bounce, but somewhere around 235 to 245 region. Try for a higher low there. Long-term, obviously very good. Just we're in a correction short-term. Mr. Escobar says, "Crown, can you do Joby on the monthly?" Sure. See what it looks like. Joby Aviation. Hidden bullish evidence on the last higher low. I think this one heads back up towards these high 18.5 to $19, or sorry, $20. Probably just breaks out to new all-time highs, to be honest with you. This is good. It's putting in a nice consolidation on new highs. That's usually a very strong signal. So I think that this thing won't just move to the prior highs. It'll probably make new highs over the next month or two. I would imagine $25, $26, something like that, man. Overall, pretty good, especially as long as you're above December lows. Below December lows, I invalidate that statement and get bearish on it. But until then, bullish, man. Bullish with indicator arguments to support that as well. Vader Jacob says, "Could you look at Wolf? Wolf? Sure. Is this the appliances store? Oh no, it's TerraWolf." Weekly hidden bullish evidence here on a higher low. Yeah, I think this one heads back up to $16. Is it going to actually reverse the trend? That I don't know, but I do think you have a short-term rally here. I'm not so convinced it actually has the juice to close above those highs at 17 and a quarter. If it does, then obviously you have a nice big breakout, probably looking at, $25 or so. But until then, kind of in a weird state right here. I just think short term it tries an upside move. Crown patient zero. Oh God. Let's see. Crown OSS stock. Is this overstock? No, One Stop Systems. Okay. Again, another drive of phantom hidden bullish evidence right here. So I do think that this one does. Oh, it's already retested the prior highs. Has it already got the pullback from those prior highs? I think that's what you're in right now. I think that this thing's ready to break out, man. I'm bullish on it as long as you're above Monday's low, or sorry, Wednesday's low even. Wednesday's low, as long as you're above Wednesday's low at $6.50, I'm bullish, and I expect this thing to try new highs over the next week or two. If it goes back below Wednesday's low, then yeah, I call a reversal and I start to be bearish on this. But for now, this has a lot more bullish makings than it does have bearish makings. This traditional markets is starting to feel a little bit too easy. It feels like a crypto fucking altcoin season is what it really feels like, which is probably not a good sign. But it does feel like that right now, I will say. Ultimately, not a good sign though. You want to look at, okay, how about just Atom versus the dollar instead of like Bitcoin? Like you can't even shorting Atom, longing Bitcoin. Shorting Atom, longing Bitcoin. Just look at the Atom versus Bitcoin chart and you can short this, sir. It's a lot easier to do it this way, man. Would I short Atom and long Bitcoin? I mean, long term, you're absolutely on the right side of this trend. In the short term, do I think this one trades a little bit higher first, meaning that Atom gains a little bit of value versus Bitcoin? Yeah, I think you at least get to 307 Satoshis, or like 300 Satoshis, let's say. It's possible it does take another leg up from there because this thing's been so fucking beat up, and every once in a while you will get one of these rallies. So at that point, maybe your risk is up to the green 55 EMA, but long term, you're certainly on the right side of this. Just I'm a little bit worried about this bullish divergence building over here. So I think this rally might have a little bit more than 300 Satoshis in it. Long term, though, you're absolutely on the right side of the trend. You're, the longer, if you can hold it for a long time, then yeah, you're going to make a shit ton of money. But the problem is you got to survive those one-off bounces, which are one-off bounces, but they can be big percentage gains. So it's kind of a difficult one to do. But yeah, generally you're on the right side of it. I would wait for this one to pop up more though before entering into a short. That's just my personal opinion, but yeah. Anyways, we got cars, cryptos, and conspiracies next. Looking at ATMY stock, ATMY, new one for me as well. Antimony Resources. Good. It's good right here on the weekly. Yeah. And new all-time highs, consolidating on new all-time highs, just resolving this consolidation. This thing wants to move higher, man. It's got another hidden bullish divergence on the weekly time frame alongside low volatility. This thing is going to very likely make new highs, maybe even this month. I would say latest February. This is good. I'm bullish on it, especially as long as you're above the December 19th low of 42.5 cents. Yeah. Mr. Escobar says NBIS also looks good. Okay, cool. Let's check it out. NBIS, Nebius. Yeah, another one with hidden bullish evidence on the weekly. Wow, man, it feels like it really is shitcoin season in traditional markets. Yeah, I think in the short term, you head back up towards 115 or so. Does it look good? Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I think that there's better choices right now, but do I think it's going to move back up towards these highs? Yes, I do. I do think that it will move back up towards these highs. Is it going to make new highs exactly on this rally? I don't know. Volatility is already pretty high, so it's not a super easy call for that. Oh, I just got a shit ton of emails. What the hell's going on here? What the hell is going on here? Oh, there's an open position in my HOA. I should join. Oh God, that would probably be so much fun. That would be so much fun. Crazy. Anyways, I should remind you, if you're just joining in, we got a few more days left on our 2026 opening New Year sale with the code 2026 for 20% off of any one of the programs or services in the Teachable link description below. I also have some major new developments coming up for the Crown Trading Bible as well. I'm going to be adding some quizzes in there, so we can give some certificates out for actual completionary people. Would be cool. Start my own real school, I guess. AmmoSeek is a meta search. Stop overpaying. Oh, okay. What would you suggest to use, sir? And how did you know I was using ammo seek? Hey, how did you know that? How the fuck? How did you actually know that? How did you know that? Broken Elegant says, as an outsider, it seems to me that the separation of powers in USA has failed. It shouldn't be too easy to drift whole country to one direction so fast. I guess we shall see. Time shall tell. Delane Horning says, ALB stock. ALB stonk. I would say that you do have to be kind of skeptical of one-sided reporting, because I can tell you when I read the reporting about the U.S. from Finland, because I used to live there, it's usually extremely biased, usually extremely one-sided, and very obviously pushing some sort of an agenda. So it's it's difficult. I mean, realistically, no news is giving out the full truth, obviously, but I would just say if you are looking out from the outside, it would be good to at least incorporate some of the other side's news as well, because usually the truth is somewhere there in the middle. Anyways, as far as ALB goes, really nice rally here. And I do think that this thing does have its next macro low in. I'm just not convinced that this rally is the one that brings it back up towards 250. In fact, I do think it will. I will extend a little bit more towards 170, 175, but I would be expecting a local high there and then come back down and hopefully set in a higher low. Long term, I think it is good. Long term, I think that this is your next macro higher low. I just think it's going to look something like this. It spikes a little bit higher, comes back down, hopefully sets in a higher low there, then gives the real run. I just think it's going to take a while, man. Can we look at RKT mainly? I was just wondering if you bought, what time frame were you thinking to hold? I did not end up taking a position on this on rocket companies, although maybe I do. I mean, this is not bad here. I'm just starting to get too much invested in singular stocks, and I don't like doing that. But I guess if there ever was a time for that, right now is a time. It's a fresh breakout above the last weekly swing high. This is bullish. I mean, look, if you wanted to enter in here, yeah, you have some risk, obviously, but this is a fresh breakout. I don't like these sort of positions, but I can totally understand it. I think it is valid to take a position here. I do think that this one will find its way back up to $28-30. It's just generally bullish right here. Yeah, it's something to do with, I guess, real estate financing. So that's going to be playing off of the Trump $200 billion mortgage bond purchase plan. So yeah, it's bullish. Obviously, it's bullish. Yeah, I think it continues with the rally. Microsoft on the Microshaft. Yes, I have a Microshaft and a Microsoft as well. This one, a lot more toppy. Daily hidden bearish divergence on the last lower high. Weekly still consolidating here. Does it break down and actually fulfill a 450 target from whatever I had previously? Very possible. Overall, I still like it. Long term, I just think that this will be an opportunity, but yeah, probably does reconnect with 450. Kind of similar to Apple. It's like, I think you're in a short-term pullback, and shit, man, if you fail 450, there is a major gap here at about $400. I would love to be a buyer there. I'm gonna put in an alert there as well. But this one's corrective right now. We are seeing rotations in traditional markets. Your top 7 FANG stocks, not doing so hot to start off this year. Most of the gains are being had elsewhere, obviously. Batmanny6 says, hey, Crown, do you think Sono will continue to bounce from here? I don't know. Never looked at it in my life, so let's check it out. Let's see. I don't like this one. No, I don't think so. Or at least I think if you're, no, man, no, like this one just put in a swing high right here. Give it a chance to go sideways for a while before anticipating any sort of a bounce. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad. It's just, I don't think if you're looking for the upside or more upside on this move, I think the upside on this move is done. I think you're still ranging, and I think that you're going to come a little bit lower and find a higher low before anything else. So to answer your question very bluntly, no, I don't think so. Hidden bearish divergence on the monthly as well. So yeah, I would be anticipating another swing to the downside. Just maybe not with a new low. Hopefully it's like a higher low, something like this, and then pops back up. That would be quite good. But to be fair, I mean, it's got your traditional crypto shitcoin chart. So I don't like this one. It's just not as obviously bullish as many of the things that we've seen today. There's just many other better charts. Where can I buy the Pesto indicator? The Pesto indicator, the fear and greed indicator right here. This comes a part of the LTI package. So let me just show you really quickly where it is. The LTI package, again, is intended for more long-term investors, as is this tool as well. All you need to do is go into the teachable link in the description below, go to view all products, and it will be actually near the end, I think. So let's double check here. Let's see what it's looking like. Yeah, it's right here. The LTI, it is quite literally the last one on the list. That does not mean it's the worst or anything like that. It's, in fact, some of my most important tools for long-term investing right now. It's actually among my only tools for long-term investing right now. But yeah, they come as a package. I should also let you know at the end of this month, at the end of January, we will move up the price from 200 or 199 to 250. So a $50 increase. Right now, you can get it at the lower price plus that discount. Again, the code is 2026, 20% off of literally anything in the teachable link in the description below. This is not an exception, as you can see. So yeah, it's there for you right there. Anyways, and also I probably will, I need to talk to Pesto about this, but I would like to also offer a 7-day free trial through a monthly subscription as well for this. So I think we'll bring that up soon too. Just need to speak with Pesto about that because I always want to convene with the progenitor of this before making a decision like that. But I think he'll probably be on board with that. Can you look at Coinbase on the weekly? Yeah, man. Let's check out Coinbase. Let me go back to my RSI chart right here. I really like that for my stonks. Let's see. Where is my dirt base? Yeah, 240. Again, in the topic of obviously bullish charts, this is not on that topic, or is not a winner of that topic. I've been having my LARP lines here, anticipating a bounce back up to like 285 to $300. Do I still think that that's going to happen? Yeah, you do see some bullish divergence building here between this low and this low. Just needs to really hold by end of day here above about 240, and you will confirm that regular bullish divergence. So I'd still be kind of biased towards a bounce here, but I might have to adjust my bounce targets a little bit down towards 275 instead of like 300 in what it was earlier. Daily time frame, not looking too hot right here, to be honest with you. Hidden bearish divergence on the last lower high. It's already come back down. And you do have a slew of lower highs here, so it's not great. If it breaks down, this thing's going to come down, I'd imagine rather quickly towards 200. Yeah, if that breaks down, 200's got to be the next stop. Yeah, not gonna be great right there. Full disclosure, I do hold this thing, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this chart right now. So I might need to unload some more on a bounce if I see another rejection below about, especially like 300. It's not gonna look too hot. But give it a chance here. Again, if it closes above that number by end of day, I do still think that you have a good opportunity to at least try a bounce up towards like 275 before it's all said and done. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Farleon? Boarding late with the drive to go boarding. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Hope everyone's doing well and your dog relieved themselves outside. My dog did relieve itself outside, but I will tell you a very, very, very nasty story that scarred me for life, and I can no longer look at little Rosie the same way. Elsie, do you want to bring little Rosie here so I can show her while I tell this story? All right, I'm gonna go grab little Rosie because she probably has her own side to tell, but one moment. All right, so this is little Rosie. All right, Rosie, so look at the camera when I tell this story, because this was, I'm so disappointed. 2 days ago, I was watching Rosie. It was about 7:30 p.m. at night. And we had just fed Rosie, good. Okay, don't be biting that. We just fed Rosie, and, she gets some wet food and she gets some dry food. We mix it up. It's really good, really, really healthy for her. And about 15 minutes after feeding her, I look at her. She's in her playpen, and she has like a little pee pad in her playpen, okay, that she pees and poops on. All right, right, Rosie? Here you go. And she had done the business there. Okay, that's fine. Drop some peas, drop some poops. And I turned back to look around, to look at her after watching The Mandalorian, and she had a full dookie, okay? So like this was 2.5 inches long in her mouth. Okay, don't kiss me. It's gross. It's very gross. See, she's looking away because she knows it's gross. Don't do it. Don't do it. She had a full fucking dookie in her mouth, and I yell at her, say, Rosie, no! And she spits out fucking 2 more inches of this goddamn dookie onto the ground, and I can never look at her the same way again. She eats her shits. She eats her shits. Don't do it.
That's what puppies do.
No, 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 no. We need to return her. She has some sort of a defect. Don't. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Disgusting. Very disgusting. And not only that, but she has worms in her poop too. So, you know. All right, Rosie, one more time. Do you have anything to say? I guess not. I'm going to go return her to her mother. All right, so that's Rosie Poo. Yeah, she's a scat girl. 2 dogs, 1 cup, or 1 dog and 2 poops. Because that's actually what it was like. There was 3 logs on the ground, 1 in her mouth, and it was big. It was very big. It was very big.
She doesn't do that outside.
If you feed her small bits of pineapple, it makes their poop taste bad to themselves. Nice. Yeah, she's very cute. Yeah, Caretaker letting everyone know that the CTMAC, Caretaker's Moving Average Crossover, is free to literally anyone on TradingView. All you need to do is go over here to the TradingView Public Library, type in CTMAC, and amazingly, the reverse MAC, actually that's the reverse MACD indicator. Where's reverse moving average? Oh, is this moving average crossover? Yeah, it is. That's a reverse moving average. This is a reverse moving. This is a reserve MACD. This is a reserve moving average. Oh God, that is actually very confusing. That is funny, man. That is actually very confusing. Or is it moving average? No, sorry. I stand corrected. I'm the redact here. The prior one was the MACD. This is the moving average crossover indicator. So you need to type in CT, just type in like moving average fully, and then it'll pop up over here. There's over 1,000 likes on this one. And that's the one that I'm using. By the way, it does have a predictive capability as well to predict what price is needed to force a moving average crossover. I typically don't include it on my charts because, you know, it gets in the way a lot of the time, but it can be very, very useful if you are employing some of the moving average crossover strategies that we have gone over on this channel, namely the 5 versus 21 EMA is a big one right there. But as of right now, not super, super relevant, so I haven't really been bringing it up. But yeah, anyways, back on a Bitcoin, 91,000 bucks. Still trying to hold the line right there, man. Still trying to hold that line very valiantly. Asian Massage says, Crown, I would suggest Federal HST. Yeah, 124. Yeah, I noticed, man, with one of my handguns, I have a Walther PDB Pro. It does not like 115 grain. It would just continue to jam and jam and jam and jam with 115 grain, but 124 grain is fucking shooting them off smooth as butter. It's beautiful. It's amazing. On the other hand, my Hellcat Pro, that one, no problem with 115 grain. It loves anything. It loves anything it can get. It's amazing, man. Really fun. Yeah, Scatman. Scatman. She's Scat Girl. Scat Girl. In next week's episodes, Crown's new rash. Yeah, man. My mom didn't make it to the loo quickly enough one day. My dog did similar. Wait, what? Oh, God. It ate your mom's? Oh, that is very bad. That is very, very bad. Jaden Pauluk says, can we check out a Red Cat on NASDAQ? Yeah. Full disclosure, I do hold this one. Red Cat trading 12 and a quarter. Is the breakout failed? It hasn't broken out yet, man. Are you asking me if like this rally is going to pull back from here? It's very possible it does. Overall, I do think that this one will resolve to the upside. This, in my opinion, is a consolidation on new highs already. But the real question is it ready to push through 2 new highs on this monthly dildo right here? I don't think so, actually. I do think that it will, probably this quarter. But I'm a lot more inclined to say this run might extend a little bit more towards 14, 15 bucks, then come back down to hopefully setting one more higher low on like a very quick spike, and then do the real breakout. So that will naturally take some time. I think it might be more of a February thing, but overall it is good. And again, I do hold this, full disclosure, so I am talking my book here, but I generally hold things that I think have good charts, like fucking obviously. So yeah, I'm shilling my own stocks, but at the same time, like, I buy them because I think they're going to do well. Crazy idea. It's not like I'm getting paid by Red Cat to fucking promote them. In fact, I literally paid them to buy them. Crazy. All right, what else we got? Got a Bernadoodle pup. Man, the lady who we bought Rosie from actually also bred Bernadoodles, about same age as Rosie. He's a poop eater now. Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good because they got worms and shit like that. Bernadoodles are pretty cute too. They're big ones though, aren't they? They get pretty big because It's like a Burmese mountain dog, right? And those are gigantic. And then a poodle, which I guess is quite small, but it's probably like what, a mid-sized dog, right? Sorry to hear that, Crypto Mainly. That sucks, man. That sucks. I mean, it's probably the first time I ever saw my dad cry was when one of our dogs died. Actually, it's the first time I ever saw that, man. So my sympathies to you, man. That sucks. That really does suck. Asian Massage says, Crown, let's take a moment to consider the target demographic for anything named Hellcat. Yeah, I know. Oh snap! It's like that, man. Yeah, I wanted to buy it though, just because I wanted something that's super small. But not like ultra micro, subcompact, just like a little bit below compact, and that one fit the bill. But yeah, I mean, should I have gone with like an MMP or sorry, a Smith & Wesson, Shield X or something like that? Maybe, yeah, but they didn't have it at the store and I didn't want to wait, so that's what I went with. Also, they were trying to turn me on to Sig Sauer as well, which I guess is pretty good. I mean, they have a pretty good reputation, right? I don't know why I decided against it though. I don't know. Did it feel bad in the hands or something like that? I remember something about it I didn't like that much. Yeah, mid-size, at least 40 pounds. Great White Hype says ARBE on the daily. Sure, man. Arby's? No, it's another robotics. This one I don't like as much, man. It's been in just a monumental downtrend since forever, so I'm just not going to like it as much. The conditions just aren't as conducive to reversing as we've seen in these other on these other ones, and we've already seen so many of these things have some pretty epic runs. This one not running with them is not a good sign in my opinion. It just even put in another lower swing high right here from October, so I'm inclined to say that this thing, might extend the rally a little bit more towards 150, 160, but I think whether you're putting in a lower high here or here, it's still a lower high, and this thing wants to go lower. I'm not going to call a reversal on something that doesn't even have anything suggesting it's a reversal yet. It only knows how to go down as of this moment. So if it could reclaim that, October high from 2025, that would be a good reversal condition. But until then, I would avoid this. There's just so many more better, more obviously good-looking charts out there in the world. I grew up with poodles, toys, raising 2 pugs over 17 years, and now I'm onto bigger puppers. Still want a pug too. Yeah, man. I will say, after so long of not having a dog, it is very nice to have a dog. I mean, it is fun, man. Even though sometimes we have to wake up at like 2 a.m. to let her out and poo. It is pretty fun, man. It's pretty hilarious. I know. I don't need to really do much. Else pretty much does all the work. That's why Else is the best. Anyways, Durfoot says, where are you from? What's PEN currency? Where is that no. I'm like asking you to dox yourself, but I'm just curious, like what fucking currency is that? Please check. Hey, what's that currency? ORE versus, oh God. So it's we're back into the crypto lands. You want to look at versus USDC. I don't know if that's going to be that useful, man. Oh, it looks like a mega shitcoin. I think that your intuition here might be very much correct. Is it this thing or is it? It's what? Peru. Oh, Peru. Oh, it's Peru. Oh, if it's this thing, terrible. I think that you just put in your next lower high right here. But I don't know exactly which chart it is. If it's this thing, I think that this is your next lower high. Looking for something that's a little more obvious. No, it's on Solana. So maybe it was that one that I saw right here. I don't know I mean, look, this chart is obviously terrible, but this isn't even really a chart. So I don't really know what you're looking for here, to be honest, man. If it's the chart before this, then still bad. If it's this chart, then ultra extra bad. But no one even trades this thing, man. So it's hard to kind of figure out what the hell you're actually looking at. If it's this, I mean, it's just bad. There's not much to say about it other than that, man. ARBE on the daily looking for an exit. Yeah, I mean, I think that you extend the run a little bit more maybe, but I wouldn't get too cute with it. If it does extend more, I'd be looking towards like 160 and 175 at most. Yeah. Long term, this thing wants to go to the downside. But short term, I don't know. Maybe another rally there, something like that. Anyways, dog, cat, feathers bad. We have feathers? They have feathers? AVNT, sure, man. I think we'll need to shut this one off soon, just because it's a gym day today, actually. Let's see. I don't love it long term, just because The good things right now are obviously breaking out and, putting some pretty significant rallies. I do think that this one continues on with its current rally a little bit more towards like 35, 35 and a quarter, 35 and a half, whatever it is. But I don't think it's going to reverse from here just yet. I think that this is a short-term rally back up towards, okay, it actually might go a little bit more. Maybe not necessarily just 35, but maybe closer to like 37 and a half to 30 to 39. I just don't think it's ready to do anything significant to the upside. I think you are caught within a consolidation. You found your lows, which is good, and I don't think it really is going to go much lower. There's your lows. That's quite obvious. And then your range high is going to be where? It's going to be right around here, basically. Like 41 and a quarter. So, probably something like this coming off of that 200 simple, boom, hopefully comes back down, sets in a higher low here, and then gives the rally. And that would be really, really good. But naturally, that's going to take a long time. This is a monthly time frame, man. SIGSAR, it NDs today. Oh, you mean, yeah, it fires without pushing the trigger. Yeah, I've heard about this, but I think it's only for the 320 model, not for anything else. Yeah, it was a 320. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, just, uncommitted discharge. So many problems at SIG. Smith Bodyguards 2.0 is fantastic. Yeah, I was looking at that one as well, but I couldn't find it in store, unfortunately. Crown, is the Quant Prime still require me to use a service like 3 commas, or can you simply use TV in your brokerage? On some you actually can, but you do lose your ability to issue more complicated order types and commands to it. So there is a trade-off. But yeah, for many exchanges, you actually can go direct from TradingView to exchange, assuming that the exchange does have a webhook directly. If you can do that, okay, yeah, you're good to go. But generally, they offer a lot less functionality. Like, for example, you won't be able to do limit orders. You can only do market orders, which is not ideal, at least in my in my opinion. So yeah, where are my notes? Yeah, exactly. All right, Asti. Yeah, thank you as well. Russell 2000 breakout. We're going to end on Russell, the RUT, RUT, small caps here. Yeah, I don't know when I did a chart on this, but yeah, it's just following through from here. I am continuing to be bullish on this. This is going to make new highs. It's literally in a breakout right now. Not bad indeed, especially after like 5 years of consolidation. So yeah, bullish on this one. I don't really have target. Well, I guess I could make a target for this. Let's see. Got the height of our consolidation there. There's the low. It's about your breakout right there. I don't know. Maybe somewhere around 31-ish, 3,100. 3,000 to 3,100-ish region. But this is a quarterly, so understand that it's going to take a long time to get there, and then probably get a nice pullback. There's going to be some pullbacks along the way as well. Anyways, we shall end things right there. I appreciate all of the I appreciate everyone joining in. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you on this nice Friday morning. I appreciate especially the gun content being shoved towards me as well. I absolutely love it. I eat it up like crazy. I've learned so much from this community as well. It's beautiful. And yeah. Other than that, we shall be back on. Okay, last one for Dirtfoot. Last one for Dirtfoot. I think we did see this though. Ori Soul. Okay. EXZQ. Yeah, so it's this one right here. Okay, this is a better chart than what we looked at before, but I do think your short-term rally is done. I think that this thing is in a range here. Your range high is 163, 164. Your range low is 44. You just rejected the range high. It might spike the range high one more time, but I don't think you're going to break out. I do think it rejects, and you find yourself back down at least towards $1 at some point in the upcoming couple weeks. So yeah, man. Anyways, been an absolute pleasure to speak with you on this nice little Friday morning. We'll be coming back probably not tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have a long-term investment video ready for tomorrow. This one's taking some time, and I need to prepare for some other things, but we'll be back on latest Sunday for a traditional market video. Other than that, wishing everyone